Greetings, candidates. I welcome you once again to the lesson. The subject is Public Sector Governance, Policy and Administration. Today we are studying the regulatory and legal framework of public enterprises. So in this lesson, we will highlight some of the key statutes that govern public enterprises. But before we get into the key statutes, it's important for us to understand the meaning of regulatory and legal framework. Now, when you say the regulatory and legal framework of public enterprises, we are referring to the body of constitutional provisions, statutes, policies, and regulatory institutions that establish, govern, and also oversee state-owned enterprises. It is this regulatory and legal framework that defines how these institutions are created, how they are managed, what obligations they carry, and how they are held accountable to the state and to the public. It is this framework that also sets the rules of the game within which public enterprises operate their commercial and their public service mandates. So all public enterprises, they have a constitutional basis. There is, first of all, constitutional basis. Constitutional basis. For example, Article 227 of the Constitution requires that procurement and resource use of or by public entities, including enterprises, be fair, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. That is just an example of an article of the Constitution. Another article is number 201, which outlines the principles of public finance, and they apply to public enterprises as recipients of public funds. Those are examples. The other example I can cite is Article 249 that establishes oversight institutions like the Office of the Auditor General with the mandate extending to state corporations. Another article is number 259, which requires interpretation of the Constitution in a manner that promotes good governance, relevance to how enterprise legislation is applied, and so on. So those are just examples of articles of the Constitution, which gives us the basis for regulatory and legal framework. Now let's move to the statutes. Now before the statutes, allow me to just highlight them for your reference. That is Article 227, Article 227. I've also mentioned Article 201, Article 201, Article 201. There is Article 249 and Article 259. These are very key articles of the Constitution that helps us understand the regulatory and legal framework. Then there is the statutes. What are these statutes? Statutes. Now, the first statute is the State Corporation Act. It's an act of parliament. State Corporation. The State Corporation Act, which highlights the State Corporation Act, I can say, is the principal legislation that establishes the legal basis for creating, for classifying, and also governing state corporations. If you are talking of state corporations, if you are to find out how state corporations are created, how they are managed, how they are controlled, then you have to refer to the State Corporation Act, State Corporations Act. Okay, it defines even state corporations into categories, like we have commercial state corporations, we have regulatory state corporations, then there is also public service corporations. This act also highlights their reporting obligations. So that is one statute. The second statute is the Public Finance Management Act. Public Finance Management Act. The Public Finance Management Act, this is the act that imposes financial governance, budgeting, and reporting obligations on state corporations as part of the broader public finance system. Public Finance Management Act is the second statute. The third statute is the Public Audit Act. The Public Audit Act extends the Auditor General's mandate to audit public enterprises, ensuring external accountability. Then number 4, we have the PPADA, the Public Procurement. It is the Public Procurement. They have the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. This is the fourth statute, which governs how public enterprises procure goods and services and how they dispose the assets. Number 5, Number 5, we have the Companies Act. The Companies Act of 2015. This one applies to public enterprises incorporated, public companies. It applies to public enterprises that are incorporated as companies where the state holds shares. It governs corporate registration, it governs directors' duties and reporting. So state corporations that are incorporated as companies are governed by the Companies Act. Next, you have Privatization Act. Privatization Act governs the process, it governs the criteria and also procedures for divesting the state companies or enterprises, or divesting the state shareholding to private ownership. So when we are talking divesting or privatizing of these state corporations, then reference must be made to the Privatization Act. It's the Privatization Act that governs the procedure, the process, and the criteria for privatizing state corporations or state shareholding to private ownership. Then lastly, we have sector-specific enabling legislation. Sector-specific enabling legislation. Sector-specific enabling legislation. Now, many enterprises are established or governed by their own specific acts of parliament. For example, you may have the Kenya Ports Authority Act, you may have the Kenya Powers Governing Statutes. These sector-specific enabling legislation, they set mandate-specific obligations alongside general enterprise law. You understand? Yes. For example, you can have each and every state corporation, each and every enterprise, so that is what we mean by sector-specific enabling legislation. Then lastly, candidates, we can highlight as we close some of the regulatory and oversight institutions. Regulatory and or oversight institutions include institutions like State Corporations Advisory Committee, State Corporations Advisory Committee. Number two, we can cite the National Treasury, the National Treasury. The National Treasury is another of regulatory institution. Are you following, candidates? Yes. Then there is parent ministries, parent line ministries, parent line ministries. Every state corporation has a parent line ministry. Then there is the Office of the Auditor General, the Office of the Auditor General. We have the State Corporations Advisory Committee, right? State Corporations Advisory Committee, we mentioned it. There is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. The EACC is another institution. Then there are also sector regulators. Sector regulators. Sector regulators. Like in finance, we have the Capital Markets Authority and so on. So these are regulatory and oversight institutions. And that's the end of our today's lesson, where we've analyzed the regulatory and legal framework for state corporations. We've cited, first of all, the constitutional basis, Article 227, Article 201, Article 249, Article 259 of the Constitution. We have also analyzed the statutes, the key statutes. For example, the State Corporations Act, we have the Public Finance Management Act, we have the Public Audit Act, number 4, Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, number 5, the Companies Act, number 6, there is the Privatization Act, and sector-specific enabling legislation. In closing, we've also mentioned or highlighted the regulatory and oversight institutions like the State Corporations Advisory Committee, State Corporations Advisory Committee, the National Treasury, parent line ministries, the Office of the Auditor General, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Then we have the sector regulators. That's the end of the lesson. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Below this video, there is a comment section where you can post your questions and all your questions will be answered. Bye-bye.